FedEx have delivered something to me. FedEx have delivered something. And it's something I've wanted a long time. I spent a lot of time trying to work out what the best sort of tent is for me, and I think I've got it. And I've paid a lot for this. I have been using a tunnel tent up until now, but this is my new tent. The tunnel tent is brilliant, highly waterproof and fantastic in almost every way, but I find that I want to sit up, and of course I can't sit up in a tunnel tent. So I've done lots of research. I was looking at walking trekking pole tents and thought trekking pole tents were probably the wrong idea for me. But actually, as time went on, I thought, no, let's get some trekking poles and try them. I've never used them before. I didn't know what trekking poles to buy, so I bought trekking poles to match the tent. So I've gone for Durston gear. Now, Dan Durston out in Canada makes fantastic stuff according to all the internet reviews, and my mate also said they were great. So I've bought some trekking poles. The new Durston, I can't remember the name of them, but they come out of a bag like that. A bag, it's a bit spacey, isn't it? Look at that. I've seen how you do this, so I'm going to have a quick pop together. That clips in there. That clips in, he says, like he knows what he's doing. Oh, it does. It clips in nicely. Set that up to 120. And these are the only ones Dunstan do. They're super light. I mean, they really are light. And I was going to buy some cheap trekking poles, because what I normally do is buy cheap stuff and then decide I should have bought the expensive stuff in the first place. So this time I've done it the other way around. I've decided not to waste my money on cheap gear, not to waste the cash. Just accept, if you want some decent stuff, you have to pay for it and buy it once. Let's see how that works. I've never had a decent car, so it might work a bit if I knew. So what I bought, trekking poles. Come on out. I got a Durston sticker. It's probably the best bit. This Durston, if it's what I ordered, yep, it's an X-Mid 2. It's the one with the mesh inner, so it's not the winter mode one. My mate Brendan was suggesting that the winter mode one will be too warm most of the time, and in winter we'll have a lot of condensation, so I'm better off having the mesh and just making sure my sleeping bag and sleeping gear is good, and that'll be better. This is fantastic. Excuse what I'm dressed in. I'm fixing a car. It is tiny. You see people squidge these up on Facebook, YouTube and things, but that is tiny. Guess where I'm sleeping tonight. And the other thing I bought, which was in my head a bit of a joke, but felt I had to do it, a Stargazer kit. And just to let you know what that is in case you don't know, that allows you to put just the inner tent up. So you're in a mesh tent, keeps the mozzies off, obviously fair weather only, but you can see the stars. Oh, isn't this? I tell you what, I feel like a 5-year-old at Christmas. It's bloody brilliant. I know I've spent a lot of money. This was a lot of money, okay? I could have bought a cheaper tent. I could have bought sort of 60 or 70 quid. There are what appears to be perfectly decent hiking tents. I know one company makes a copy of this. It's not the same. It's not the same materials. It's not the same quality and so on, but it's a copy. But this is a small company in Canada, and they live and breathe on selling their tents. I don't think they sell them ridiculously expensive. They're just a good tent, so they're a proper price. They're not manufactured in the millions. And to go and buy a copy of a tent, I would never feel comfortable, because the man who's designed this is called Dan Durston, and I don't know him, but he seems like a nice guy on the videos, as everyone does. But you can just see the amount of thought and attention to detail and the quality and the choice and the knowledge and experience coming through. And the videos just show you all of this. And you just think, of all the options, every time I kept coming back to, let's just get a Durston, let's just get a Durston. Because everything else was a compromise, everything else was less. This isn't. The two tents, they do the X-Dome, which was what I was going for first. A dome tent with poles, and then the trekking pole one. The beauty of the trekking pole one, from what I've seen, is you can just turn up and 4 pegs in the bottom, 2 trekking poles in, and you're in shelter. You can put the inner up second, so you're dry putting it up, but you can get shelter, and it looks like you can get shelter, fall over. You can get shelter in a couple of minutes, you know. Secondly, you get a set of trekking poles, which I've never used before, but I am persuaded by friends that they are necessary and well worth having. I went into the major retailer of tents and camping gear in this country, knowing that those trekking poles were about 130. I think by the time I bought the wrist straps, and about 136 quid. So a lot of money. You can pick them up for 20 quid. But they're better and they're lighter. And they're exactly the right trekking pole for this tent as well. But I went into one of the large retailers of tent type activities, and I looked at trekking poles, and I suddenly discovered they seem to either be in the 30 or 40 quid range, but they had 2 or 3 much more expensive than these trekking poles, 160 plus money. And I thought, well, if you're going to do it properly, you're going to spend that much money. Am I going to spend them on those trekking poles? And I could see no big advantage of those over the other ones. Or do I buy these trekking poles, which are fully carbon fibre and are supposed to be extremely strong because they're made out of thicker tubing, extremely light. Bottom line is, they were the ones I wanted. I just had to justify it to myself. So this is the tent, inner and outer. I didn't go for the dome, as I say, because the X-Mid just goes up quicker, and I just love the shape. If you look at the way the inner lays across the ridge almost, it gives you 2 big vestibules. It gives you space. It just has space. It just has space in it, and it's got space at your head and tail because it's not a rectangular unit. Anyway, the only other question really was, do I go for, I'm going to be one man camping, you know, it's just me. I can't find anyone else who's stupid enough to come and sit on the side of a hill with me, so it's just going to be me. So do you go for the 1 bed or the 2? I now know there's a 1 plus, but frankly this is the 2. I decided on this because the reason I wanted to come away from the tunnel tent was not quality, was not, you know, there was nothing. It's a bloody good tent. But I wanted comfort. This is 200 grams approximately more than the 1 bed one. So I'm basically sacrificing 200 grams of weight to have loads of space. And if I'm out and I'm caught out in bad weather, I think that space will be absolutely lovely because I can actually get all my gear out. I've got half a chance of finding out what's wet, what's not, drying it out. I can get a standard map out inside the tent so I can read a map before I leave the next day. So I'm a bit old-fashioned, map, compass first. I'm starting to learn about mobile phones and mapping and stuff, and it looks great, but frankly, Ordnance Survey, map, compass, I can get out of anywhere. Excuse me one moment while I drink some coffee. So I went for the X-Mid 2, the full 2-person tent, and I'm just so excited about it. Really good, really lovely. One thing that was a bit of a shock, and shouldn't have been my fault, on the X-Mid, this was ordered directly from Durston's, so it's been sent over from Canada, which I think is cool as well, to be honest. But on their website, they are very clear, very honest, that you may be liable for import duties. I've never really imported anything before, and I didn't quite realise how much that was going to be. In my naivety, I thought I'd be paying a tenner, 20 quid, something like that. I think the import duties were 106 or 116. It topped over the £100 mark, so it turned the tent, which was not the cheapest, I think off the top of my head, 226, trekking pole's about 136. The little stargazy jokey thing's 15 quid. I think the sticker's free. It basically topped it, you know, tops it up nicely. So it's that little box there contains over 500 quid's worth of my spending money. I don't have a particularly high income anymore, but I've got a lump of money that I thought I'm going to spend it. You don't need to know the details. But I had the spare cash, so I could do it. And I wanted to buy one tent, an excellent tent, one off. The only thing I didn't buy was the ground sheet, the second floor, the footprint, that's what they call it. And I don't know whether you need it, but you know, you shouldn't need one, should you? Unless you're putting it up on spikes, and I don't intend to. I do intend to clear the site and put it up nicely on decent ground. But also, I've heard that the Durston footprint only covers where the inner tent is, so your vestibules haven't got anything. If I'm going somewhere where it's spiky and horrible outside, I'd quite like to cover that as well. So I am probably looking at buying a tarpaulin of some sort, or a ground sheet from someone else that's the size of the big tent, 2.4 meters by 2.1. This is not small. The other thing that I am fully aware of is that for all the benefit of a tent that's really nice and big inside, it limits where I can put it up, because that tunnel tent of mine, I can squeeze it into the tiniest little slot. I have slept in it between gorse bushes with families of an evening playing, waiting to watch the sunset on top of a hill on the Ridgeway. And there were people, or I could hear them. I was going to sleep, I was tired, but I could hear people, children, footballs, all sorts of things 20, 30 feet away at times, and none of them saw me, because my little tunnel is such a low profile, it's dark green. Once I tucked it where I found it, it was invisible to people and no one knew I was there. And almost to me, because I got out of it and I went to go and look at the sunset, and when I turned round, I had a bit of difficulty. I knew roughly where it was, but I had a bit of difficulty finding my own bloody tent. This is not that, this is going to be a lot bigger, but this is fantastic. I haven't found, I found the pegs. I mean, they're tiny. I think I'll be buying some extra pegs as well, because you can put quite a few extra pegs in to make this more storm worthy. So I'll be buying those, and yeah, topping up, making sure that I can guy out every part of it. I do not expect this to be the most storm worthy tent in the world. I've been out in bad weather. It's now raining, ready for the tent to go up. I've been out in high winds in tents and things, and you really got to get the right tent. This is about low level, comfortable, easy put up, easy to live with, lightweight, compromising on a little bit of that weight for the bigger tent, but I think it's the right answer. I will find out, and if it turns out not to be the right answer, I'll probably put a different video up. Apart from that, I'm a bit excited, and I'm going to go and put it up. And I know I just said it's raining, I feel terrible, but it is a tent after all. I could wait till it stops, I suppose, but I could go and have a little bit of practice of putting it up in the rain, which is what I wanted that one. Hey, I might do it. Toodle pip and all that, and catch up another time in the video. If you like it. There's not much to like, is there? But you know, a couple of subscribers, you probably get me into double figures if you put a subscribe in now. You must be one of my first. You might be one of the last. Thank you very much for watching, and this is just me being a bit excited. Please excuse the excitement. Oh, I'm down there. Bye-bye.